Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is the 3rd of March, and you know what that means? It's the 3-3 portal. I actually attempted to start this on 3:33, 3 o'clock, 3:33 p.m. But I'm a little late, but that's okay. I'm here. It's still 3. And we're going to take a look at some Kabbalah, some astrology for the day, and then I'm going to be doing the card reading. I will timestamp it, so if you're not so into the astrology and the Kabbalah, you can skip right to the reading. So let's get started. I do want to, before we get started, I always do this. I want to welcome the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. You have joined a wonderful group of people, like-minded people whose I think, main focus is to be their best, and shine their light. So welcome to this shiny place that is my channel. So now we can get started. Oh, one more thing. You'll learn this about me too when it shoots in my mind. For those of you who have requested a reading with me and you haven't heard back from me yet, it does not mean that you will not receive your reading. I did get quite the tsunami of requests, and we're working through them. I got my husband Michael to help me yesterday, and later today we're going to go through them again, and we're going to see uh, who we have on our list. It is a first come, first serve. You may not get the reading at the time that you originally requested, but I am doing my best to get you as close to possible as that. And it is, to a certain extent, first come, first serve. So the people who first requested readings, I will attend to their readings. I mean, I'll schedule their readings, and then we'll schedule from there. I want to thank you in advance for your patience and your understanding, and believe me, it will be worth the wait. I just want to make sure that everybody gets what they need, and I do my best job with each and every one of you. I want to make sure everybody um, gets what they need, really. Okay, guys. Now, really, for sure, Breeze a charm. Let's get to this. All right, guys. So we're getting into the 3-3 portal. All right. So now we'll do the numerology and the Kabbalah, a little astrology, significant astrological occurrences happening on this 3-3 portal, and then we'll get to the card reading. So we're 3-3-2024. When we add that vibration together, we get a 14-5 vibration. The 14-5 is connected to the Temperance card. This happens to be the Temperance card for the Thoth deck. This one is called Art, but it is the Temperance card. It's the same card. And I like this one because it shows the alchemical nature of the Temperance card and the path of temperance. Now, the path of temperance is called the intelligence of trial and temptation, or trial or temptation. The essence of this path is that the middle way is the key to happiness. The veil is fire is the great destroyer. This is the path of trial by fire, folks. Trial by fire. The mystery, the serpent of temptation, is the Holy One, deliverer into liberation. Fire is the great illuminator. Through destruction or trials as if by fire, all that covers or mars internal beauty is burned away, leaving behind the pure gold illumination of the shining one, who is truth unveiled. When we look at the tree of life on this 14-5 vibrational day, we see that the path that is activated is this path right here, and it continues under this path to here. connecting the Sephiroth Yesod, which is connected to the moon, to the Sephiroth Tiphereth, which is connected to the sun. At the time of this 3-3 portal, the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Sagittarius. Incidentally, the 14-5 also vibrates to the Sagittarius energy. And Sagittarius is an energy of truth. It's about truth. Okay. This is the path, or called the path of the mystic, right up the center of the tree, and one of the more difficult paths that we walk on the tree of life. It requires temperance in thought, action, deed, habit. It's important in this time that we do not get caught up in extremes, that we continue to put one foot in front of the other, as if like walking on a knife's edge, or perhaps a tightrope. And where are we walking? We are raising ourselves from our lower self to our higher self. This is the path where we meet the holy guardian angel, the dweller on the threshold of the great shining one. The great shining one is the sun, and within the sun is the soul, the higher self, the Christ consciousness. Okay. Now, astrologically, there are a number of things happening on this day. We have a square between the sun and the moon, which is interesting because the sun and the moon is the, let me go back here. I don't want you to be looking at this while I'm saying this. Okay, the sun and the moon are square to each other today. It is a last quarter crisis in consciousness square. It is part of the lunation cycle that started with the new moon in Aquarius and started the year of the wood dragon in Chinese astrology. The wood dragon is a dragon of manifestation, nature. It is the green dragon. The new moon in Aquarius, I believe, was conjunct Pluto. Is that right? Oh, Pluto was definitely in Aquarius. It was only like 3 weeks ago. I think I remember. And we also have a last quarter square between Uranus and Venus today. This is a crisis in consciousness square. Uranus is the awakener. Venus is our values. Venus is love. Venus is our relationship. The last quarter square requires us to move in the direction of individuation, move in the direction of humanitarianism, move in the direction of taking responsibility for ourselves and for our brothers and sisters that we share this earth with, including and not just limited to humans, but also to the environment and to all creatures and sentient beings, of which everything is sentient, by the way. Everything has life in it. Everything is a manifestation of divinity. And so everything has life in it. Even a rock has life in it. It has a consciousness. And so we're all raising our consciousness. As we rise up, we bring everything with us. As above, so below. So we're all evolving together, guys. We're all evolving together. So there is one aspect that I want to talk about that's happening today. And it is a semi-square between Jupiter and Neptune. Jupiter and Neptune. Now, Jupiter and Neptune are two planets that deal with expansion. Jupiter expands our understanding all the way to we get to Saturn. And Saturn is sort of the line of our conscious awareness. Beyond Saturn, we're dealing with our unconscious. One of the planets out there beyond Saturn is Neptune. And Neptune is also about expansion of consciousness, but expansion of consciousness into infinity. Back in 2022, April 12th, 2022, to be exact, these two planets came together in a conjunction. And this conjunction occurred at 24 degrees of Pisces. We can see it right here. This is the Aries rising chart. We can see Neptune and Jupiter conjoining at 24 degrees of Pisces. The Sabian symbol for 24 degrees of Pisces is on a small island surrounded by a vast expanse of sea. People are seen living in close interaction. Self-definition. We must choose how to interrelate with others, and so the need arises for an acceptable yet authentic identity. Use conflict as a means to learn compassionate acceptance. And so this is really about to know what we are good at and to allow other people to be good at what they're good at and to work together to live in peace after some conflict, of course, to figure out who's good at what, right? To live in peace together on this small island, and we could just call that small island Earth. Now, that is significant in itself because these conjunctions only occur about every, I think, 12 to 13 years. It's either 12, 13, or 14 years that these conjunctions occur. It is a cycle it is a cycle of Jupiter. Neptune takes 165 years to go around the zodiac, and Jupiter takes 12 years. And so they come together every 12 or so years, and then 12 years later, they meet again. Neptune is a little bit further along, and Jupiter comes back to meet it. Okay, so this is a significant occurrence around the expansion of our consciousness, folks, the expansion of our consciousness. Now, it happened in Pisces, in the sign of Pisces. And what's special about that is that both Jupiter and Neptune are considered rulers of Pisces. Jupiter was the classical ruler of Pisces before Neptune was discovered. And then when Neptune was discovered in the 1800s, it became the ruler of Pisces. And so both planets work very well and powerfully in Pisces, and it is about an expansion of consciousness. Pisces also can be confusion. Pisces is also connected with the ocean and water, so we can certainly see that in the world, the expansion, um, the rising up of the tide, as it were. Um, so it's especially important. Now, if we look at the numerology of the day that this occurred, we'll see that it vibrated to a 22. The 22 in the tarot is the Fool card. The Fool card is where we jump into our next adventure, our next incarnation, right? It's an initiatory energy. We jump into things, and it is located on the Tree of Life between the first Sephiroth, Kether, which means crown, into Hokmah, which means wisdom. This is the path of the Fool. It is connected to the planet Uranus. At the time that we had this conjunction, Uranus was at 13 degrees of Taurus, 13 degrees of Taurus. And it looks like it was doing something. What was it doing? 13 degrees of Taurus. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was unaspected. Okay, was at 13 degrees of Taurus. Now, this is the start of what we call the synod between Neptune and Jupiter. And over the following 12 years, they're going to be in a relationship with each other and go from one sort of energy to another. The conjunction is energy moving out. It's yang, it's masculine, it's all right. And then the energy starts to draw back in on itself. And then at another point, it expresses itself again and then draws back in, almost as if it's breathing. And the coming out and drawing back in happen at certain points along the circle. The semi-square is a 45-degree angle between two planets. And if we come to uh before I get to the next slide, the semi-square will happen when Jupiter is 45 degrees away from Neptune. This semi-square, which is the energy moving in. So we have the expression of energy with the conjunction. Now, if we remember, that was around the time that Vladimir Putin attacked the Ukraine. Do you remember that sense of compassion, that sense of compassion that went out, right? What were we all feeling? We were cheering for them. We were cheering for them. Now that energy is starting to come back in with the semi-square. And the next, so it's drawing back in. The function of the semi-square is to contract the energy of the original expansion in order to create a blueprint or a foundation or structures in order to escape the ghosts of the past, to escape the old way of doing things, and to create a new structure for a new way, a new way to structure our world, so that energy of compassion has a place to grow. The 45-degree semi-sextile is at the 15th degree of Taurus. If we take the circle, 360-degree circle, and we cut it into eight pieces, 8 equal pieces, that is the eightfold way. It is also the lunation cycle. So we're moving from a new phase to a crescent phase, which is the next 45 degrees. After the crescent phase, we move to the first quarter square, which is a crisis in action, but we are not there yet. Okay. At this point, we're taking all of that energy of compassion and being good at what you are and all the rest. And now we're coming back. We're trying to create some foundations, or at least plans for the foundation and plans of action that we will take when we come to the square. Okay. Now there were 3 semi squares to this series. The first one, occurred. All right, here we go. No, I don't think is this the first one? Hold on. I want to make sure I'm in the right place here. Okay, so there was the conjunction. The first of these semi-squares, 45-degree angles here, occurred on July 22nd of 2023. So it was a little over a year after the initial conjunction. We had the first semi-square. That day, on that day, we were vibrating to a 36-9 vibration. The 36-9 is the 10 of Wands, the burden bearer. On the Tree of Life, it is located in Malkuth. 36-9 is a Sagittarius vibration. Oh, yeah, now things move, right? When I don't want them to move, they move. So we have Jupiter, semi-square Neptune, Jupiter at 13 degrees of Taurus. Interesting that in the original, Uranus was around 13 degrees of Taurus. Remember that, right? So now Jupiter has reached that point and is making a semi-square to Neptune. 13 of Taurus, a porter carrying a heavy bag, improving our lot in life. So this is the energy of Jupiter is the sort of the pilot planet, right? We have Jupiter and Neptune come together in the conjunction, and then Jupiter, because it moves faster, starts to move away from Neptune. So it's almost like it's the pilot planet that's going out to understand things, to that's what Jupiter does. Jupiter is about understanding. It's about finding the truth. It's about gaining perspective. It's about learning. Okay, it's a learning planet, learning about the truth. And the symbol is a porter carrying a heavy bag. And this symbolizes our drive to do better in life, right? We see these people who maybe are not in the same financial situation as the people whose bags they're carrying, but they're willing to work in order to get to the point where they have their own set of bags that somebody else can carry, right? So that's the energy. It's about the energy of hard work to improve yourself. And this is in a semi-square to Neptune. Now, during these semi-squares, Neptune is going to remain in Pisces, although it does move from degree to degree in Pisces. Neptune, excuse me, is at 28 degrees of Pisces. The Sabian symbol is a fertile garden under a full moon. Success in mastering the earth plane is measured by our ability to win abundance without becoming a slave to greed. And we are reminded of this, right? We are reminded that yes, you can improve your life, but there comes a point where improving your life turns into something else. And this is a bit of a warning. And we have the burden bearer here. Now, on the tree of life, where this card sits in Malkuth is connected with the earth in a chart. And the earth is always opposite the sun. Okay. So the earth is actually, here's the sun in this chart. The earth would be right here. What is on the earth? You can't see the earth. I didn't put the earth in. But the earth would be here, exactly opposite the sun. And what do we find there but Pluto? Pluto, the planet of transformation and power on the earth. That day, Pluto, the day of the semi-square, Pluto was opposite the sun. Not only was Pluto opposite the sun, but the nodes of the moon, we had a giant square here, a giant cardinal square. Cardinal squares like this are opportunities for us to evolve. It's an initiation. It's a spiritual initiation. And so we move through this time with through a spiritual initiation. The next time we had a semi-square was November 5th of 2023. This was right around the time of the incident in Israel and the subsequent bombing and what seems like indiscriminate and brutal treatment of the Palestinians. Okay, that's when this happened, right around this time. That actually happened in October 7th, and it's still going on as I do this reading. Jupiter semi-sextile, Jupiter semi-square Neptune. This time, Jupiter is at 11 degrees of Taurus, a woman watering flowers in her garden. Remember, Jupiter is the planet that's pilot. It's the one, it's the scout. Neptune sent Jupiter out and said, find out the truth. Get me some learning here. Expand out into at least as far as Saturn will allow you to go out. The process requires our full and loving attention as we nurture our own personal qualities, as does a gardener as they cultivate the flowers. So this is another reminder for us to go out and to do what we do best. Semi-square Neptune, watching a very thin moon crescent appearing at sunset, different people realize that the time has come to go ahead with their different projects. According to Dane Rudger book on the Sabian symbols, this is symbolic of the fallacy of totalitarianism. In totalitarianism, one person tells you what to do, and what they tell you to do is what they want you to do. But this isn't about that. This is about doing what you're best at. And of course, this shows the fallacy of totalitarianism. So this is another hint for us to move in that direction. Now, here is the semi-square again, right here with Neptune at 26 and Jupiter at 11. And on the Tree of Life, it's located here in Hokmah. The vibration of the day, 23-5, the King of Wands, is found in Hokmah. Hokmah is associated with Uranus. So I look to see what was Uranus doing that day. And here's Uranus at 22 degrees of Taurus, opposing Mercury at 24 degrees of Scorpio. The interesting thing about Uranus and Mercury is Uranus is our higher minds and Mercury is our lower minds. Uranus is our intuition, or actually our psychic ability, our ability to see beyond, to think outside of the box. It is the awakener to our lower mind in Scorpio, our lower mind, Mercury in Scorpio, what needs to change around our thinking. And so I wanted to see, besides the opposition to Mercury, we also have a trine to Venus in Virgo. Venus in Virgo is the helper, is the aid worker, is the service. This is about service. So we're not only being asked to open our minds, but to be of service. And what are we being of service? The trine is a Leo energy trine. So it's about shining your light. And now, on March 3rd, we're back at the Temperance where we started. And we can see here is the semi-square again. Now Jupiter is at 12 degrees of Taurus. Window shoppers, the externalization of the desired principle expressed in tangible form, wishing for more. Semi-square Neptune, 27 Pisces, a harvest moon. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow. The moon, this path, the 14-5 path, is connected to Sagittarius, right? I said that at the beginning. Is there anything in Sagittarius today? Why, yes, the moon. And is the moon doing anything? Yes, it's making an inconjunct or a quincunx to Uranus. It is a waning inconjunct or waning quincunx. The waning quincunx requires us to have self-mastery. Self-mastery. And of course, Sagittarius is the truth of who we are. So what we are being asked to be at this time on planet Earth is to be our best selves, aligned with our higher self, aligned being in service to others, aligned to open our minds to something different, to something new, to compassion, the original conjunction in Pisces, the energy of compassion. It is time to stop, to look, to listen, and to plan. That's the next portal. Okay. All right. So that's the technical stuff. Now let's get down to the cards. Let me, I have a deck here I'm going to use. Decided to use a deck I don't use that often. It's the Witches. What's the name of it? I don't even know the name of it. It's the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Witch's Wisdom. So let's see what the Witch's Wisdom has to say. Let's shuffle up. And I'll also pick a an oracle card or two. Let's see. Let's see what oracle deck I can grab behind me. Apologize for the noise of shuffling. I just want to make sure we get a good shuffle on this. So let's ask Spirit, what do we need to be aware of as we move through this 3-3 portal, this trial by fire, the path of the mystic. We are all on the path of the mystic now through this portal. The 1-1 portal was a 10-1 vibration, the Wheel of Fortune. The 2-2 portal was a 12-3 vibration, the Hanged Man. The 3-3 portal is the Temperance card. And next month, the 4-4 portal will be the Tower. Okay. All right. What does Spirit have to say? This is the Ace of Water. This is love, compassion, all the things that initial conjunction between Neptune and Jupiter speak of. Nurturance, compassion. We have a frog here. Frogs are symbolic of healing. So this is Spirit reminding us that we are in a healing time and that love is available to us. Unconditional love. Spirit loves us. Spirit loves us. What is the challenge to that? We have the 10 of Earth. The 10 of Earth is our connections to each other on the earth. And so as a challenge to the Ace of Cups, I would say that this is really speaking to creating the connections, the mycelium network here, right? Maybe you want to eat more mushrooms. Maybe you want to do some mushrooms. So we can become aware of how we are connected to each other. The challenge here is that we're not quite connected enough to each other. And it's easy to not want to get connected because when you get connected, you can feel the feelings of other people, and people are very upset. But isn't it nice to know when you're upset that there's somebody else who's there who can empathize with you? Not sympathize. Sympathy is in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. Empathy, walking in another's moccasins, right? Saying, I know how this feels, and just holding somebody's hand. Let's see what's at the root. The shaman, 13. 13. This is the healing path. It is the death card in this deck. It is about letting go of that which no longer serves and moving into a new experience, letting go of the old and building foundations for the new. The 13 vibration, the base number of 13 is 4, which is foundations. And so it's about letting go of that which you no longer need so you can utilize your energy to create the foundations that are necessary. In the past, we have love. This is about choices. It's also about love. In the sky, the 3 of fire. The pathway is being lit. All these lights on the path are us. How do people find the way? By shining the light. You act as light on the path. The immediate future. Messenger of fire. Energy, messages coming from spirit. There's a little ram there. That's Aries, right? Aries, the next 4/4 portal is the Tower card. And the Tower on the Tree of Life is connected to Mars. And Mars is the sign of Aries, right? Mars is connected to the sign of Aries. So there's new information coming in, new messages. You have to keep your inner ears open for the messages that Spirit is going to be sending you. How it's seen from the outside. And from the outside of where we are would be perhaps extraterrestrials, right? How are they seeing this? They're seeing us gather together, potentiating each other's light and bringing more light to the path, right? If you look at this card in comparison to this card, the light is shining a little bit brighter. I don't know if you can see these cards. They're so beautiful. Your domestic situation. The Eight of Fire. The Eight of Fire. This is information coming fast. Coming fast. It also this is a Sagittarius card, and it also deals with not just information coming fast, but the path being revealed in groups. It's time to find your tribes, guys. Find your tribes and look for where the path is leading. Hopes and fears. Hope. The star. Hope. Outcome. The moon. The moon deals with the two sides of ourselves. The side that is domesticated, as we have on the dog on the left here, and then the wolf on the right is our wild side. It's a balancing of that. It's about the Sagittarius moon, right? What is the truth? The Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius deals with the wild places. And so we're being asked to connect with nature and to recognize our own nature through this. We have two natures. We have that which is conscious and that which is unconscious. And sometimes the unconscious comes up and gives us a good bite in the butt. I was actually having this discussion with my husband last night. And for some people, the darkness is easily seen. It's right there. It's a choice every day between light and dark. But for some, the dark is very, very deep. And that will come out on occasion. And you need to recognize that and realize that it's part of you. So even when you blow up, or even when you get angry and it's completely out of the realm of how you normally are, you need to honor that. Bless it. Thank it for coming out. Underneath it all, we have the Eight of Earth. This is about, again, coming together in groups to bless the earth. Here we have a sacred grove with a sacred pool in the center. Eight. The eight sections of the lunation cycle, the phases that I talked about. We've gone from conjunction to semi-square. It reminds us that everything in its time, everything in its time. The Ace of Earth, the abundance of this beautiful planet, the magic, the medicine, the beauty of the earth underlies this all. And the balance of the scales, the balance. the balance between the domestic and the wild, the balance between the male and the female, the balance between the light and the dark. As you sow, so shall you reap, the balance. Wow. I'm glad I used these cards. This is a really powerful reading. It is all as it needs to be, guys. It's all as it needs to be. Know that in your heart, that you're exactly where you need to be. Now, let me pick a oracle. I've been kind of enamored by this oracle deck since I purchased it. It is the Mystical Sister Oracle. I think I used it for the Taroscopes this month. If you haven't checked those out, check out my Taroscopes. They start with astrology, and then I do a card reading. And just like this video, you can skip the astrology if you're not an astrology buff and go right to the reading. What do the Mystic Sisters? Uh-oh. Okay. Somebody, we say in the biz, what falls to the floor comes to the door. So let's see what's going to come to the door. Awesome. Bast. Bast. I know Bast is play. Let's see what she says about Bast. These cards are by Emily Balavet, which is one of my favorite artists. That's why I purchased them, because of the art, but they're really great cards. Domesticity and nurturing, also play, like cats play. The Egyptian goddess Bast is the protector of the household. She is widely known today as the cat goddess, the queen of domestic affairs. As a fertility goddess, she protects mothers and their children and brings health to the whole family. In Egyptian magical texts, an offering to Bast was made by women with hopes that this would enable them to conceive or help their crops grow. Being cat-like in nature, Bast reminds us to land on our feet in any situation by using positive, humorous, and a playful attitude as our best defense. She is a master at multitasking and deftly manages all matters of the home. Drawing this card turns your attention to your own domestic life, to fluff your own nest, to take care for loved ones with your full attention. Take care of your loved ones with full attention. So that is the message. That is the message. There is love. There are messages coming. There will be times when things come up and you need to accept them as they come up through you and bless them, because they're all part of you. Ultimately, we're exactly where we need to be. Take care, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are not a subscriber, you could you could subscribe. You could like this video. If you'd like to support my work, I do have a Patreon page. There is a link below for that. Or if you would like to perhaps take a class with me. Right now, I have a couple classes going, but I'm going to be having a introduction to the Kabbalah come up in May. I will let you guys know when that happens. I'll put it on my website when I've looked at my schedule. And again, if you have asked for a reading with me, I will get to you. Do not worry. You will be taken care of, but it may take a little time. So thank you for your patience, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful month. Until the next portal reading, namaste.